Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Skytear Sunday, episode 21. King of the Dome is the format we're actually playing. This is Giacomo going to play against Smeoz. Um, you won't have to handle this alone with my beautiful German accent. I brought a co-commentator. Hello, RG. How are you?
Good afternoon, Zaraghul. Thank you. I am the commander reporting in for duty, and as Zaraghul mentioned, we are here for episode 21 of the King of the Hill Dome series. Giacomo is our current reigning king. As you could see on the preview screen, he was required to bring Shafathi this match, and decided that he would go for an interesting little gimmick setup. We're not going to spoil what that gimmick setup is just yet. We're going to hope to see that he can play it. Maybe it comes out, maybe not. Important to note, though, that Kumaya is going to be his leader. Showdown was drawn, that you can see at the top of the screen in one of our victory conditions. So the first hero drafted by each player will have to be their leader. And of course, if Kumaya defeats Yami or Yami defeats Kumaya from Smeoz's side, that will instantly win the game for the player. Of course, the other two victory conditions, Bloodlust, defeat two enemy heroes with the same hero, and the double kill, defeat two enemy heroes within a single activation, or other courses that could be selected here. We do see now Giacomo going quickly after the Ishitosk was also drafted for Smeoz, so we're going to see the Yami Taxi combo. Giacomo quickly answers with the Hokusai to kind of melt the armor of Ishitosk, and also bringing that Shafathi that you see there on the perimeter of the dome, his required hero on the board now.
Yeah, this is an absolutely bloody constellation. So, are those victory conditions that are in your personal favor, RG?
I love it. The only one that I would say swap out would be double kill and replace it with onslaught. And the only reason for that is with this setup, it might be a little bit hard to be able to knock two heroes off. Of course, we do have triple flippers on both sides. Both Yami and Kumaya can cause 3 instances of damage in one turn, as well as Hokusai. So there is a possibility for a double kill if you soften people up. But overall, I'm not seeing any huge damage cards from either player's decks. Of course, we did download the decks in the description, so if you would like to click that expand, you can see what both players are running. We see a lot of fairly typical control cards coming into the play here in terms of the higher mana cost cards there. The Sinkholes, the Wind Blasts. We do see Rampant Hatred coming out from Smeoz, though, which will be interesting. So with the final draft there, we do see Vorhild and his Hokusai coming out as well. The outsider being selected, Giacomo did win the coin toss, so he is going first. Giacomo elected to go first, trying to deny that turn one presence play from Smeoz, seeing that Smeoz did bring several of the blue runed heroes into the game. Didn't want to have to deal with that forced turn one concession that presence can often bring. And we do see that Giacomo is going to bring Shadris out as his final option. Now, Shadris is a very good choice here when Showdown is on the map, because you can use the illusion to effectively give an additional 17 hit points to your leader, so long as you keep the leader adjacent to the Shadris illusion token. And a very important thing, too, now is that Kumaya does have 2 possible illusions that she'll be able to manipulate on the board. Remember, of course, with Season 2, we did have a number of updates, one of which the dual faction heroes, Kumaya, Shadris, Vorhild, and Nantaka, are now able to take worship actions from both of their representative factions.
Shall we have the decks quickly put up on screen? Or the hero
Absolutely.
selections? Okay, give me a second.
I think so, yep. Sure. While you're doing that, I'll take a look at the Mulligan Phase. So during the Mulligan Phase, it looks like Giacomo is throwing away 2 Down to Earths and a Doom card. So getting rid of those mana burn cards right off the bat. Very interesting play, actually. Not wanting to mana burn away the heroes or prevent any healing. Given the setup here, it doesn't look like Smeoz has any Nourish cards or Sacrifice cards that would permit healing anyways. But nevertheless, the Doom is always good to try and throw away something if your opponent perhaps uses an espionage to predict or uses that presence to predict, it might be useful to go ahead and doom them in order to get the card out before they're able to use it as a lead action, force them to waste it from the mana burn effect.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Smeoz is going to get rid of Shield Slam, a Doom himself, and Speak with the Spirits, and Dance of Death as well.
Okay. Here we are going to see In the Void Palace Forever by Giacomo. This is the deck that he actually built like 20 minutes ago. He's bringing Shafati, Kumaya, Hogosai, and Shadris. We see an average modifier of 1.02, an average mana of 1.88. He's going to bring 13 3-mana cards. Yeah, different colors like red, yellow, and a bit of a green. So this could be interesting. Which green card it's going to be.
I bet you it's definitely not Sinkhole.
Oh, definitely sure. I'm pretty sure it is. So we see Dodge, Doom, Down to Earth. We see Lifesteal, Materialize, Migraine, Mind Palace, Mindfulness, Not So Fast, Quick Shot, Redirect, Refract, and Sinkhole, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Swiftness, Time Warp, and Wind Blast are the other cards. Just going to head over to Smeoz.
So a fair amount of red with a small amount of yellow mana in there, and then of course those 3 Sinkhole cards that we predicted. Meanwhile, on the field real fast, while you're taking a look at that, Giacomo did open with Hogosai. He chose to move Hogosai up, destroy one of the minions, and then skirmish into the dome. Meanwhile, we now have an activation on Smeoz's side. Ishatosk is going to play the Dreams of Talent Worship in order to summon a pillar onto the battlefield. He's going to use that pillar, of course, to do the Yami Taxi opening. We've seen that many of times. You use the Dreams of Talent to establish pillar presence. You then use the worship action in order to remove the pillar, move Yami over the minion to trigger her passive ability during Ishatosk's turn. This allows you then to use it again on Yami's turn since her passive can go off once per activation. We see the pillar being removed there and then replaced as per the worship action. We now see Yami moving 6 squares or hexes, whatever the case may be there, and is then going to finish her move into the cover hex so she can't be targeted. Flip on the minion, dead minion, and now we see Ishatosk moving adjacent to other minion.
We just wait for Smeoz to finish his activation. And then we might have a look later on into his deck.
So with the setup here, it looks like Smeoz went for the attack action. Very interesting. Means that he wants to use Yami in a more offensive manner. In this situation, perhaps trying to use a worship action in order to move her around. He's cleared off all the minions in lane number 1, which means that Yami's passive doesn't actually apply here. Interestingly enough, I was expecting him to use the lead action here, perhaps, with the Ishatosk, but he may just not have any good cards in hand right now to lead and doesn't want to risk it from the deck.
Interesting. So he wants Yami to be more aggressive in the lane?
It seems to be the case. Meanwhile, all right, next play here, Giacomo is going to move Shadris into the battlefield, going for the attack action there, killing off the minion, brings that down to 1. The final question is, do we worship or do we lead here?
Yeah.
With the worship action, you could potentially get the illusion token in one of the cover hexes to provide some measure of safety. We are going for the lead action. All right, very good. So that's going to force Smeoz to come up with some sort of a response in lane number 2. Otherwise, that control token is going to go flying against the tower. Now, of course, there are no tower destruction-related victory conditions this game, but Nexus destruction, always a possibility. If you get the control token pressed up against the enemy tower turn 1, you can set up for a possible tower destruction turn 2, and then your opponent must defend on turn 3, otherwise they end up risking losing the game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Ooh, we see the... Ooh. So we see Hokusai contesting the center here for Smeoz, going for the worship action, dealing 2 damage to both himself and Shafathi. Interesting enough here that he did not use the armor melt on Hokusai there, given that Shafathi already has 0, that Shafathi has 0 armor, so the effect doesn't really trigger down on him. And a lead action to finish the job. But at this point now, yeah, as Shafathi, you kind of just want to maybe run in and stab Hokusai, since you get the piercing damage. Hokusai is at 15. You can kind of just run in and start dealing damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am curious to see what he wants to do with the Yami. Yami is in a very interesting position. She's not within 3 of anyone to worship. There's no minions left for her to kill, which means that unless Giacomo moves Kumaya within 3, at least one of Yami's actions has to be a move. And it doesn't seem to be, the best optimal move that you're going to get. So, but meanwhile, we are going to see Shafathi activating here first on the field. Potentially going for we are going for the worship action to bring out the illusion, followed by the skirmish action here to predict when Shafathi's illusion token is on the field. You can see that right above Hokusai. It's been placed. You get to predict whenever you resolve the skirmish. When you declare the skirmish, and then you get to swap positions with the token whenever you resolve the skirmish, if you so choose. So Shafathi could choose to teleport, but with that illusion's position, it doesn't leave him near Hokusai to attack. So unless he wants to lead with Shafathi, he's going to just simply move on top of the illusion. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, the illusion is within 3 hexes for Komaya, so she can take advantage as well, and could predict if she's going to use the skirmish action as well. So this helps in, let's say, blind leading off from deck. Or you could predict some damage card, possibly.
Indeed. So the only thing that I don't like, though, with that illusion's positioning is Kumaya does require line of sight in order to use her smokescreen effect, which reduces the line of sight to 2 hexes for the enemies. And inside the dome, that isn't really necessary because the dome is only 2 hexes wide, really, from the center control point. So we're not going to get a whole lot of effect out of there. We will, of course, as you mentioned, get the skirmish predict bonus, but not going to... Oh, no,
big flips.
You hate to see
big flips.
You hate to see it. Oh, wasting the big damage flips on the minion.
And a lead. Lead from hand. To equalize, let's say.
Okay, so Kumaya is going to open with a lead action. Very interesting. So we are going to lead from the deck. I do believe that was one of the predicted ones from Shafathi's earlier skirmish. So Giacomo should know what that card is.
Yeah, and Shafathi is in line of sight of the control token as well, lane number 1. So yeah, it would be the same amount of miniatures there in lane number 1, even after Yami going off with her activation. So there's a lead, a move, and an attack against the minion, and yeah, there is the pressure.
All right, so now at this point, Smeoz could choose to win the dome and get control of the outsider at the expense of losing both lanes. Or, I'm sorry, at the expense of losing lane 1 and tying lane 2, assuming that both Vorhild and Shadris have led with 3s, as it is a 5-5 score in the second lane. All right, we do see Yami going for the worship. This makes perfect sense. We're going to teleport onto Kumaya, deal 1+ flip to her. Oh, big damage this time on the hero. Very nice. All right, so that's 4 total.
That's
Kumaya does reduce it by 1. Very nice. All right, so Kumaya down to 14 hit points. Again, remember, if Smeoz does defeat Kumaya using Yami, that will be the showdown victory condition for him. So laying that damage on her early. Oh, and another +2. Damage.
Down to 11.
Down to 11 already. All right, so with Smeoz getting control of the outsider, barring any time flux shenanigans from Giacomo, which I don't remember seeing a time warp, so I don't think that's actually possible.
And
Smeoz now has
skirmish.
control of the outsider, and he can deal a substantial amount of damage to Yami. Excuse me, to Kumaya using Yami.
Yeah, with that positioning, he won't be able to move into the dome with a skirmish. So another damage. He will actually move one hex. This makes perfect sense because of adjacency to
Yep.
Ishatosk. So you're able in the next round to just, yeah, being there's a quick
Ooh.
shot. Okay, played by Shadowless,
Okay, very
so
nice.
bye bye Smeoz minion.
Yep. All right,
So
so now it's a 5-4.
yeah,
Okay, so
lane number
resolving
one.
lane number 1, Giacomo does win lane number 1. Shadris or Kumaya did lead with a 3 there. Vorhild led with a 3 over there as well, so we'll resolve lane 2 in just a moment. But Kumaya's lead will allow Giacomo to significantly win lane number 1. Now, of course, no tower damage can be done on lane 1 without using a trample to move the control token first, but it does allow Giacomo to get card draw, which he is definitely going to need with his leader being down to 10 HP. If he's not careful, Giacomo can actually just lose after Smeoz uses the outsider. One activation from Yami can easily finish her off. So we'll see how this goes. Lane number 2, Giacomo will win by 1 point there, as Vorhild and Shadris both did have 3s. We saw that flip up. 1 minion extra means that Giacomo will get to draw another card there and have 3 minions in the lane for round 2.
Yeah, cards.
Now, of course, this... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Having a difference in cards always matters in the game, besides of positioning with the heroes and getting the most out of the activations. So if you have more cards in hands, then you probably have more options than your opponent. So having a lot of cards in hand is always a good thing.
All right, and now we do
Yeah.
the dome. So Smeoz does get to win control of the dome. So you see, he's trying to figure out where does he want to position the outsider.
Yeah,
Does he just set it up here?
I think this is the only position where the outsider can actually reach Kumaya, so he can deal some damage and prepare for a kill in round number 2. The disadvantage is that if you would like to, let's say, have an advantage regarding armor, you would like to use, in Smear's favor, you would like to use Hogosai first to mark Kumaya somehow, and afterwards try to attack with Yami to get the kill off. But yeah, it makes perfect sense to deal some damage. It's 5 damage.
Okay.
Ooh, -1.
Interestingly enough, so we do see 5 damage, brings her down to 6. So now he could actually use the Hogosai ultimate here. I'm sorry, the Hogosai worship that would force the mark onto, or the armor melts onto. Oh wait, Kamaya's already marked. That's fine. So we need to get Hogosai
In line of sight.
Oh, interesting. He's actually going to have Ishatosk take the worst action.
Okay.
Very nice. So this is going to allow him to maneuver Yami into a new position, but also, more importantly, get rid of one of the minions. And so, therefore, slow down Giacomo's win condition. Because at this point, it's pretty evident that Smeoz is going to attempt to assassinate Kumaya. So if he's able to control the minions, that means that he doesn't need to worry about Giacomo's win condition while he advances closer to his own.
Yeah. Where do you want to position Ishatosk? I mean, it makes sense to get him adjacent to Yami to trigger the same skill, the worship skill as well in the next round. Makes perfect sense.
And we do see the third outsider skill being used as well, which was draw a card. So we're going to go ahead, clean up, and advance to round number 2. Now, important to note here is that Giacomo did not use the flux, which means it is possible that a flux sinkhole could appear this turn. In order to dissuade Yami from attempting to kill Kumaya.
Yeah, but it's only possible for Giacomo's Hogosai, positioned in the dome adjacent to Shafati, actually, to play the sinkhole. And he's quite, let's say, Yeah, he doesn't have many options to position a target hex for the sinkhole. This could be, yeah, could be difficult. He is going to reach Yami, I think, with the sinkhole actually in that
Yes.
position. So this is actually something that we might consider for this round. As you mentioned, using the flux, getting the advantage of using 3 mana instead of 2 mana in round number 2. Yeah, which actually is round number 2 and not round number 1. And we lost Smeoz. Wow, that's a surprise because Giacomo was had some difficulties with the connection,
I was going to
but
say,
yeah.
So let's consider this now. So as you mentioned, with the sinkhole, Hokusai has basically 2 hexes that he could target using the sinkhole, and then the AoE pattern would flow over, allowing him to lock Yami in place. Now,
Absolutely.
of course, Yami could still deal damage either from the worship action or from perhaps a power card, but importantly, she would not be able to get adjacent to Kamaya, wherein Smeoz, we did see Smeoz discard Dance of Death, and I do believe a Vendetta as well. And hello everyone.
Hello.
Hey. Hey guys, I think Smeoz dropped.
Yes.
I am here now. Sorry, my connection. I recreate the.
No, Zaraghul is actually hosting.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm hosting.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Back in our corner.
You just reconnect.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
See you in a minute. No problem.
Live shows are always great.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look in the background at Smeoz deck.
Smeoz's deck. Yes, good call. We did not get
give
a chance to do that.
Give me a second. I just have to sorry. I just have to switch over to another screen.
No problem. You did, as you did mention, this particular deck is titled The Beauties and the Beast. Of course, the beauties being Vorhild and Yami,
and
the beast being Ishitosk, and the others just kind of being there.
Yeah. We are now seeing the YouTube in the YouTube, so this is the wrong one.
We have YouTubeception.
Yeah. Which is very funny in the end, but not what I wanted to show. So try again. This looks fine. Okay. The Beauties and the Beast, yeah, by Smeoz. He did select. Okay, I have to promote him. Just a second. I have to. Where are you? Promote Smeoz. Yes. This time I re-promote him. Yeah, we see average modifier 1.5, which is nearly a half higher than Giacomo's modifier. 1.75 average mana, which is nearly the same. If I remember correctly, Giacomo's was about 188, something like that.
Yes, 1.88.
14 3 mana cards. And yeah, Smeoz deck has all the colors, but yellow cards are the less cards. We see Dance of Death, Doom, Dreams of Taulot, Chromos Judgment, a single one. Presence 3 times, Psychic Shields, Quick Shot, 3 Rampant Hatred, a Shield Slam, 3 times Sinkhole as well. 1 Skytear Discharge, 3 Soul Scream, Speak with the Spirits, wonderful card, Stone Barricade, and 2 Triumph of the Wild. Okay. So
all right. So meanwhile, Giacomo just did a very interesting setup that if you didn't have access to his deck, probably looks very, very strange. He moved Shadris into a little bit further into Smeoz's side of the board, attacked a minion, and then worshipped his illusion token. You can see the illusion token now placed on the far right side. And you might be thinking, why would he do that? Because his Kamaya is in danger of getting assassinated. So the reason is Giacomo, A, has one way to defend Kamaya, which I'm presuming is going to be the sinkhole, but then B is holding a materialize card. So I think his plan on Kamaya's turn, because materialize is an action card, not a reaction card, but I think his plan is to just teleport Kamaya to the other side of the board and then simultaneously place her under the protection of the Shadrus illusion.
Makes perfect sense. It's a single card in his deck, so he obviously has the luck to have that deck actually in hand. The thing is, you still can, depending on decisions and activations, you still have the option to get behind or after Komaya just by using Ishatosk.
Indeed.
No, this is something still to consider in the background,
Yes.
because also Hogosai and Forhild are able to play green cards, and if we see another Dreams of Taurlord or maybe a Warship action by Forhild, which I don't really believe in, yeah, she at least is able to play a Dreams of Taurlord, and then you just head over to the other side of the board at least. And
but Smeoz says no.
okay.
Absolutely not. Materialize does not work whenever you've got someone already standing on the illusion token.
I can't believe it. I can't. Was it that obvious? Was it that
Yes.
obvious?
I mean,
oh man.
There's really no other play that you like that play that Giacomo did doesn't make sense unless that was your overall goal, because otherwise, like, Kumaya just gets nuked.
Yeah.
So so Smeoz knew something was up, because that Shadrus token in its position would not help anyone, and so Smeoz knew that Giacomo is going to try some shenanigans.
Okay. Let's just forget about what. Oh, there goes the warship. And yeah, okay. So Forhild, Smeoz Forhild is shapeshifting herself. She can't be targeted by nothing. This is so hard. And she did place a pillar, so even if somehow, maybe after Shafati activation, placing his illusion into lane number 2, and use Materialize for Komaya if she's able to survive until there. Yeah, you still can go after her with the Isha Taxi Yami abilities. Crazy. This is
that was fantastic. Very well played by both players, actually. Giacomo for coming up with the strategy, and Smeoz for being able to sniff it out. All right, so Shafathi, interesting. So Shafathi is going to move in. I guess we're going to now start trying to go after Hogosai here. Skirmish action, of course, Giacomo does get to predict off of the skirmish action. He is within range 3 of the Shafathi illusion, so he'll be able to see one card on the deck, decides to take it, is going to deal 2 damage to Hogosai as Shafathi does deal piercing damage, and finish off with the attack action for 3+ on the Hogosai. So Hogosai taking 4 more damage brings Hogosai down to 9 hit points at this point. Both players now have a character that is, both players now have a hero that is starting to hurt.
We were talking a lot about the Materialize card. I just bring it up onto screen so that everyone knows what we were talking about. It's a 2-mana card, a +1 modifier. It's an action card. Place the caster on a hex containing a friendly illusion. So this could be really the big escape plan. Okay, there we go with Hogosai worshipping on Komaya. This is going to hurt.
It won't be fatal, though, which is important.
Yes.
Does Giacomo have a response, though?
Yeah, it's like a good steak. You roast it, but you don't hang it. Or what was it? Don't kill don't kill. Don't kill it.
Oh, your standard English is impeccable, but we lose you with the proverbs. we will get you caught up on all the good proverbs, my friend.
No, this is I just make use of my I'm just a non-native speaker, and therefore I can nearly say whatever I like to. It's a big excuse.
To be fair, you are more coherent than a lot of native speakers.
Oh no.
I will say that.
Thanks.
Some of them I just stare at and I'm like, English is both of our first language. I have no idea what you're saying.
Oh man.
But to be
You're
fair, they're
serious?
usually from the south. They're usually
Okay.
from the south, so you know that kind of oh well. All right. Meanwhile, we do see Hokusai is going to finish off with the lead action. So we did see that Kumaya took 2 more damage, putting her actually within lethal range. So Yami does have the ability here. Lethal is certainly on the cards. Worship plus an attack would deal 3 damage plus 2 flips over 2 actions. We do need to see, is there a sinkhole play coming out from Hokusai? All right, we do see.
Oh, what? What's happening there?
The double. So that was the worship action, and then we had double -1s on the flip. From
Double -1. So dealing 0 damage, neither to the end. No.
Correct, yeah, because Hokusai is 1+, and so the -1 and the 1.
Oh, Triumph of the Wild.
Oh.
Being played.
Oh, okay.
Triumph
So no sinkhole.
of the Wild.
So he's going to remove the illusion. So Smeoz's Hokusai is going to remove Shafathi's illusion. I'm not sure what the benefit of that is.
Yeah. I mean, Materialize is not a reaction card.
No.
So you.
But Sinkhole is.
Sinkhole is, that's true.
Although that doesn't help us here.
No.
I guess. I'm not sure there.
Hmm.
We'll have to ask about that one. I wonder if he just played it for the armor. Because playing Triumph of the Wild does give you +1 armor. And Hokusai, Smeoz's Hokusai is down to 4 hit points. So I'm wondering if he just popped that as to get the +1 armor.
Yeah, might make sense, yeah. So he was at 3.
Correct.
In that case, yeah. Interesting.
All right, so let's see now. Smeoz has both components of the Ixotaxi left. The question now becomes, Kumaya has no place to flee. She cannot produce an illusion of her own. So let's see what happens. Smeoz does declare the worship action.
There
and
comes
here
the
comes
flux.
Sinkhole. Well, here's the thing, though. Does Smeoz have a doom?
Sinkhole.
No, he does not. You hate to see it. When a good play gets ruined, you hate to see it.
Yeah.
So the Sinkhole card here, as we predicted, is going to lock Yami into the hex area that she's at, which means she will not be able to get adjacent to the Kumaya. So unless Smeoz has...
She still deals the damage.
She does still do the damage, correct, but you can't deal lethal at this point because Kumaya has 4 hit points and Yami's max damage would be 4, so then the armor would reduce it to 3.
Yeah, that's actually a problem with not positioning Hokusai outside of the dome. Yeah, he actually did stay inside the dome, so yeah.
Yep. All right, well, that's okay. So the important point, though, is that Kumaya does not die. So now, Yami just kind of has to sit there. And, of course, Yami can also not move. Well, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Yami cannot move over a minion because you must end all movement effects within the sinkhole. And the way that that sinkhole ended up being positioned means that Yami cannot both stomp on a minion and end in the required sinkhole space.
Yeah, that's one of those details, right? Those heroes must end any movement effect in the AoE, so depending on the movement effect, you don't even get outside it.
Yep. Now, interestingly enough, he could swing Yami into the dome if he wanted, but he's also already adjacent to Ishitosk, so at that point, I think you just kind of let Yami leave there. Maybe you lead with Yami as your third action because she's certainly not going to be able to do anything. You don't want to attack the outsider. That doesn't get us any benefits here.
The worship and why move now? Where do you move?
I assume he was going to move, and then he realized, oh wait, that's not going to let me do anything. And so then he's like, all right, well, we'll just throw the move action as a waste action basically, and then we go for the lead action from the deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you don't want to attack the outsider. Doesn't get you any of the benefits, so only a retaliation.
Indeed. All right, well, with that being said, Kumaya does survive this turn. Does she survive next turn? Well, that remains to be seen. Ishatosk does have the ability to use a presence to win the dome. So it is possible that Smeoz could go ahead and win the outsider, have Yami deal some more damage to Kumaya. And set up for a turn 3 kill.
Yeah, you want to force this. Or you somehow get killed by one of the other heroes, so you can prevent by, let's say, some kind of suicide. you can prevent being killed by the other leader. Okay.
Oh, okay. So Kumaya does come up with her own play here. So she does actually, now that I think about it, go ahead. There we go. Okay. So what happens here was the Kumaya worship action allows you, as we mentioned, to take both the red and the yellow worship action. Now, because Kumaya does not have her own illusion token, she is instead allowed to globally move any allied illusions token. She moved the token away from Vorhild, who was standing on it, played the Materialize, hoping to jump over then and away from Yami, and then Vorhild comes down with another Triumph of the Wild and says, absolutely not. As a result, the Materialize card now fizzles, and Kumaya has to run like a coward. Oh,
Skytear
Kumaya!
Discharge.
Okay, so Yami's playing Skytear Discharge. This is going to mean that Kumaya has to stay out of the dome. Which means that she's not going to be able to contribute to the control token, or she has to come within range. She could cross the line. However, if she crosses the line, she will take 2 plus a... Oh, boy. If this is a 3,
but this
if
is...
Smeoz flips a 3,
oh, God.
this is lethal. This could end the game if Smeoz flips a 3. It's highly unlikely, but it could. Nope, 0. Unfortunate. That would have been hilarious. However, Kumaya is down to 3 HP now, which does mean that with an outsider win, Yami could then take the worship action on Kumaya to kill her.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
They did put her down to 2. I don't know why.
Oh, because she has no armor. Because she is marked within line of sight of Hokusai.
Yeah, she crossed the line. She's marked. Yeah, okay, sure.
And yeah, so in fact, then her armor does drop to 0, which means that a +2 actually would have been lethal instead of the +3. So that was actually very risky by Giacomo. Now, interesting to note here, does Yami have access to a Nightmares Incarnate? No, Nightmares Incarnate is on Nelliclin. So there are no damage cards from Smeoz at this time that Yami could use to spike after an Ishatosk Taxi play. Whew. Although, all you have to do here is... No, actually, never mind. Because even if Smeoz wins the dome, Yami does not have the ability to get within 3 of Kumaya, which would make the... Oh, now she does, though. Now she does.
Where
okay, there we
are
go.
we traveling? This
we are
is
traveling straight into the dome.
Ishatosk Taxi going ahead.
Yes. If Ishatosk has a
three,
presence card, then I think that Giacomo loses the dome, and then he just loses the game because Smeoz will force Yami to take a worship action with the outsider, which is undefendable. And then, as a result, game over.
There we go.
Yep. There goes the worship action. So Ishatosk, Yami charging into the dome. This is very likely lethal damage. When the outsider phase goes, I don't see how Smeoz loses control of the dome here. With a presence play, it's guaranteed. Otherwise, I think it's just a tie. Oh no! Wait a minute. Oh no! Hokusai is on the inside of the dome with the lead from hand. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens here. Wait, she's attacking her?
Why? Why? It's a 2+, and no.
But
Why do you kill?
but-
What? Why?
But you won the game, Smeoz.
That's something
Why
we
did
have to ask him. He could just.
You could just win the game.
Uh,
Like Hokusai.
what?
I guess Smeoz, being a gentleman and a scholar, wanted to drag the game out a little bit longer in order to provide us with more entertainment and more quality analysis. That's the only conclusion that I can come to.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we do see Ishitosk going for the skirmish damage onto Shafathi, bringing him down to 15. Oh, and here comes another quick shot from. This could be a destroyed tower. No, it can't. I lied. It's going to survive with a little bit of HP. All right, so lane number 1, Smeoz does win. It is a minion fiesta, so going to slow push over that direction. Lane number 2, Giacomo does win. It is a 4-1 here. So the control token now pressed fully against the tower. Smeoz does take 3 damage. And Smeoz does get control of the dome.
Wow. I'm still
confused.
Yes, me too.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so Hokusai did lead with a 3, which does mean that the dome would have been tied. So I don't know if he knew that was going to be the case. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry, that was Smeoz's Hokusai. Giacomo led with a Mind Palace. That was 0. Smeoz would have won the game there.
That's why Giacomo showed the Mind Palace.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
right
just
there.
bluffing. Boom.
Oh well. All right, well, so in this case, we're just going to win this game the old-fashioned way, I guess. Bloodlust is now on the target table for Smeoz. Ishitosk does have 1 kill on Bloodlust. So I'm actually going to I'll go ahead and put a Ishitosk token on the Bloodlust there.
Makes sense. So,
all right, so
outsider. Sorry, a bit behind. Outsider. OG. There we go.
Yep. A little bit trouble placing the minions there. Yami is going to be the one who takes the worship action, bringing Shafathi down to 7. Oh boy. So it looks like Shafathi is going to be and the skirmish action. Oh, the +3 on the Shafathi. You love to see the big damage. Very nice. Okay. So Shafathi actually can die next round, which means that now Shafathi has to run. And of course, Kumaya did activate before Ishitosk killed her, which does mean that she respawns in turn 4. So Smeoz does have a 4-3 hero advantage here. This is looking very promising for Smeoz.
Oh, yes. Generally, yes. I can now understand why he did kill Kumaya. He wasn't sure if he would win the dome.
Yes.
So that's absolutely that decision is absolutely okay. To kill Kumaya there, you get a hero advantage over an entire round, which is really impressive. And yeah, you're nearly free to do whatever you want. Shafati is down to 4 HP. So now this is, well, we just know that Giacomo only brought a single materialize, but still Shafati isn't the hero that is going to jump from one side to the other side of the board without his illusion, and the illusion is not here.
Correct.
So he could be an easy target for Ishitosk. Ishitosk has a big mobility there, so he can just run him down, depending on the flips in the end. So you now have to, let's say, calculate exactly which ability you're going to use against Shafati before, let's say, giving him the last blow with Ishitosk. and we are
Now,
in round 3, so ultimates might be incoming. Shafati ultimate could something, if Shafati is going to survive until the round, end of the round, something we could consider as well, maybe, to help Giacomo.
Indeed. So taking a quick look through the discard piles there, Kneel Before Me is the only option that is available. Actually, wait a minute. No, I think I'm pretty sure I saw Kneel Before Me flipped. Let me check that again. Yes, actually, yeah. Smeoz has flipped all 4 of his ultimates. Kneel Before Me, all of them are in the Oh, the other thing that's also in the graveyard, all 3 Rampant Hatreds. So we can't even see Ishitosk get a Rampant Hatred boost.
Okay, yeah. That would have been very good. Okay, Shadros did place his illusion adjacent to Shafati.
Makes total sense.
Yeah, makes absolute sense. Yeah, totally. He's at full HP, so 17. Yeah.
Okay. So, is there another Triumph of the Wild? If there is another Triumph of the Wild card, then Smeoz doesn't care, can simply just remove the illusion and proceed to attempt to kill Shafati. Now, given that Shafati does have 4 hit points, you probably are going to need to flip both the skirmish and the attack action due to the fact that all of the +3 cards are in the graveyard already for Smeoz. Not likely to get a kill with just the attack here. Also, the Rampant Hatreds are gone as well. Makes this a little bit more difficult. Let's see what happens. We are going to see Hokusai activate. Interesting.
Okay. What's he going to do first with Hokusai? Chromos Judgment? Okay. Why not? Why not?
Giacomo just uploaded a photo of his hand.
Oh no.
All I can say is feels bad, man.
Feels bad for himself, right? So yeah.
Go ahead.
Chromos Judgment, deal 3 piercing damage to each marked hero on the battlefield. Apply marked to all enemy heroes.
Ooh, this is very nice. So now, Hokusai gets rid of the illusion. This is going to force Shafati to activate in order to run. Unless there's a redirect coming out, maybe we can do something there. Nope, no redirect. Okay. Smeoz going through the deck and reshuffling, which means all of those +3s are now back in the deck. So it is actually now possible. And there goes the skirmish action. Do we see big damage? It doesn't matter here. This isn't lethal, but this does make it easier for Ishitosk. Okay, +1 on the skirmish.
Sorry, I now saw the hand.
It?
Yeah. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
The gimmick play that Giacomo was going to go for was using the Kumaya Void Palace Ultimate and then the Sinkhole from Hokusai to trap Kumaya on the board and permanently banish one of Smeoz's creatures. Unfortunately, that combo requires Kumaya to be alive.
Which is not going to happen.
Case.
Yeah, this is not the case.
It is an ultimate feels bad. You want to see it so much.
Yeah.
Like, even if you lose the game at that point, you win on style. Like
Doom it, baby. Doom it.
Okay, so Shafati is going for the Doom, anticipating the Rampant Hatred coming out from Ishitosk, not realizing that all 3 of them were in the deck just before being flipped over. Oh no!
What has been flipped?
Oh no!
Oh, the Hokusai ultimate, yeah.
If Ishitosk would have used that on the attack, that would have been game over. Oh, so now we're down to no. You hate to see it, team. Or you love to see it, I guess, if you're Giacomo, because that would have certainly been a lethal damage to Shafati. I don't believe that Giacomo is running any Whisper of Nupton, which means there is no way to get the Shader solution out. Nope, there is no Whisper of Nupton, which means that Shafati. All right, and Shafati is also slowed, important to note, which means that wherever he shall go, Ishitosk can very easily run you down.
Yeah.
All right.
Those
do see
grounds
the
are
worship
pretty
action.
unstable around Ishatosk.
I hate you. I thought I was free of the bad pun jokes because Ryan wasn't here, but no.
Just give me a second. I'll just put Ishatosk on the screen so that everybody gets
No,
the unstable
no.
ground joke. Oh, and another
Ooh, okay.
Doom. Okay, let's
So
get
now
back
it
to the
is
Doom.
Smeoz's turn to respond with the worship action. Oh, and oh, okay. So we've got Doomception here. So the Down to Earth
Oh yeah,
comes out
I've played by.
by Giacomo
Mm-hmm.
as the response from the Doom from Smeoz's Yami. So now we're going to go ahead and predict the action as as Shafathi is now projected. See if Giacomo wants to keep the card. Nope, got to throw away the card. It is a sinkhole.
Who's he going to target?
No one. He's going to run.
I mean, okay.
Oh, actually, he's going to target Hokusai. This makes perfect sense because this is going to kill Hokusai with a +1. But Vorhild says nope. So now Smeoz's turn. It is now Smeoz's turn to ruin Giacomo's fun by also dropping a sinkhole down. And we're going to bring Shafathi right back into that dome so that Ishatosk can sink her claws right into him.
Mm-hmm.
Or his claws, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, it's claws.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's claws. The claws.
The claws. There you go. Eric, welcome to the chat. So many kill conditions, right? Haha.
Yes, and yet we almost had a tower destroyed. All right, so we are going to skirmish, targeting Shafathi. If there's no response, this could very easily be game. We do see the flip here. Is it a +3? No, but with an attack action, Giacomo must find a way to stop this.
There's no reaction, I think.
Right? No, there is a reaction. There's a sinkhole.
Sinkhole by.
This is why you needed to get the yoga side out of the way, sir. And we continue the game.
Yes. Incredible.
Oh, no, this game is never going to end.
And they still have cards left.
They do. They have mana and cards left. All right, so the question now as Smeoz, do we just kill Shafathi and get another advantage? Or what do we do?
This is, wow. Crazy.
I mean, I guess if you're not going to use the sinkhole in order to do the Kamaya ultimate play, you might as well use it to save the game because this was certainly going to kill you.
Yeah. 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 Giacomo needed to use it for sure.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so Smeoz is now going for the worship action. Not sure what we're going to do here with this plan. I think I know what we're doing. Writing sinkhole.
Yeah. How was
Can
that again?
Like I know. So I know that you can overwrite the sinkhole effect with Ishatosk's worship action whenever the sinkhole is played in response, but are you able to do it when the sinkhole is already out? I guess the answer is yes, you can.
I'm not sure.
I think the answer is yes, you can, or yeah. Because it's two must conditions, and Tapeworm has said that in this situation, because you have two must conditions, the active player gets to choose. So in this case, you can in fact overwrite the sinkhole's trap property by using the worship action. Interesting. All right, doesn't help us unfortunately kill Shafathi, as Ishatosk does not have any way to deal damage at this point. He is out of action points. He is out of mana.
So I think we can blame Giacomo. He just erased the sinkhole AoE. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we can blame Giacomo for a lot of things. The list of things that we could blame Giacomo for is longer than something that is very long.
For example, my wish list for this Christmas.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
My wish list is very simple. Do
Okay.
not screw over my Yami and let me get that new red-green hero out on the field.
Don't, yeah,
It's very simple.
don't put her to be a side hero. Oh, that was a
That
pun.
is
That was
correct.
a pun.
There
Do, do,
was, but this is a sophisticated stream, and we don't sink to that level of degeneracy.
not again.
Not again.
Not again.
We have some level of standards. Do we? I don't think we do.
Maybe we can find some.
We could. All right. Meanwhile, that is going to be the end of Ishitosk's activation. So each player does have. Oh no, I lied. Smeoz has 2 left. So we do get to see Giacomo has to activate his Hokusai. Does he go for the attempted kill on Smeoz's Hokusai with a move action, a worship action, and an attack action? It is possible to kill.
Move, okay, and worship, but you can't.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I miscounted.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I miscounted. You cannot actually do that. So we are going to see the move and the worship action.
And elite maybe.
Oh, 0 damage. Oof. Only 1 damage to each. And a lead from the deck. Okay. Whew. So Yami and Vorhild now need to go. So the question is, you could send Vorhild into the dome to assassinate Shafathi, but your tower is Smeoz. Your tower is in crap. You don't
skirmish. Yeah, he's thinking about putting Vorhild there. Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, you need to, let's say, move 5 hexes. So move 3, do the skirmish without target, and then you're in reach of Shafathi. Yeah.
Now Yami does have access to Soul Scream, so it may be the case that Smeoz does use the Soul Scream in order to
2 mana.
kind of.
He has only 2 mana.
Oh, he only has 2 mana. You're right. Never mind. He does not use the Soul Scream in this case.
Yes.
Good
point, RG. Good point.
Thank you. I occasionally have them. Occasionally, I am known to have a good point. All right, well, let's see what happens. We are going to activate Vorhild first. So this isn't. Ooh! I wonder if we just put a whole bunch of damage here, and then we go into the dome, and then we just kill Shafathi with Vorhild's worship action. Now we can't make it into the dome now because we've done the damage here. That's going to go through. That will be 4 damage to Shafathi, bringing him down to 9.
To Shadris.
Or Shadris, excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me, that'll be 5 damage. Shadris is marked, so he only has 1 armor. So that will be bringing Shadris down to 9 HP.
Yeah, still move and skirmish is possible, but the worship action isn't possible.
Right, he would need a Dreams of Talent card.
Yeah, and no mana left.
Never mind, he would need mana too. Eventually, I will get something correct. It probably won't be during this cast, but okay, we do see a lead from the hand. So, interestingly enough, this is going to force out a little bit of fun there. Now, Yami does have another activation. Okay, so Yami could worship on Shadris, on Shafathi.
Yes.
Kill him with the worship and stay in the and stay in the lane. Well, I don't know that you want to lead with Vorhild, right? Or I mean, if you go in the dome, yeah, you could.
Yeah, you want to win the dome if possible. So, Smeoz is out of action points. Yeah.
That's what happens when you get 2 in a row.
Might be an attack. No, Shadris is marked. No, Shadris was marked already.
Skirmish action, I think, because it did 1 damage. Nope, it did 2 damage. Okay, so that might have been the worship action.
Attack, worship.
Not going for the obvious play here, though. I am so confused right now.
Me too. Okay, now
What?
he will. I think Smeoz will leave
But
Shafati alive. Okay. Okay.
so if you lead and you win the dome, because
Mhm.
Giacomo did lead from the deck here, so it is pretty much a gamble. So in this case, now you can just kill Shafati with the outside. This makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, you can kill him, but it's not Bloodlust win then.
It's not, but what it does do is it gives the outsider a token. It forces Giacomo to have another 3 versus 4 round. And it gives you a point on having the outsider with the Bloodlust, which means if you just win it again next turn, then you can just kill off somebody else. That being said, Smeoz's tower here is hanging on by a thread, actually. So this means Nexus Destruction is not possible until turn 5.
Wow.
Well done by Smeoz.
1 HP left on the tower.
Yep.
Yep.
As Ricardo famously pointed out, health is a resource. Tower HP is a resource. And so with this case here, Smeoz holds off Giacomo's Nexus Destruction victory condition and basically makes it so that if Smeoz can win the outsider next round as well, then it's kind of just everything is going terribly, terribly wrong for Giacomo. All right, we do see the attack action on the Shadris. I like it. We might be going for the double kill here. 5 damage onto the Shadris, minus 1 from the armor. Puts him down to 3. You can't kill here, unfortunately. Actually, you could kill. If you worship with... no, Hokusai is not within range. Can't select him. Unfortunate. So Smeoz is going to go ahead and draw a card. And then I assume the last thing we have Yami kill off Shadris here. Or Shafati here.
Or you just leave it and have 2 options for Bloodlust.
That's true. You could also, you could, or what you could also do is you could Shockwave Shafati, Shockwave Shadris. Yep, there comes the Shockwave. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up for a double kill. Because this has to flip a +3.
Yeah, 0+ and it's piercing. So 1 damage piercing. We have a Shafati down to 1. Shadris down to 2 HP. This is, it smells like a double kill. Spirit.
Smells like double kill. Here we go. And with Yami now having access to 4 mana, Soul Scream, Kneel Before Me, all of those are possibility cards. I don't like Giacomo's odds at this point. Now, Kamaya does resurrect, but she's all the way down there. Smeoz's Yami is at full HP. There is no chance that we get a kill. However, if Kamaya activates, we may get to see the Void Palace at least played.
Shafati's going.
Kamaya?
No, sorry.
Kamaya's going.
Oh, Kamaya.
Here it comes. Show me Void Palace. Show it to us. Although what's really going to be funny is if... oh, no, never mind. That wouldn't be a thing that could happen.
Which hero are you going to take with you?
You're going to take Yami.
Are you sure?
Because Yami has more kill tools. Ooh.
Not so fast.
We're going to play not so fast. So we're going to apply slow.
Oh, the
Are we going to go for... Okay,
Let you
so
draw
we're
a
going to play
poker.
Enter the Void Palace on Ishitas.
There we go.
Well, this makes sense. This makes sense because otherwise, you could get the Bloodlust. Yeah, so actually, that makes total sense too. I mean, either way, I think Giacomo's kind of in trouble here, but that does make sense to get the Ishitask. Is there a response with a sinkhole, though? Somebody throw me a sinkhole. Nope, we're getting the Void Palace card. All right, so this is cool. Void Palace basically is an alternate battle realm. For those of you who have played League of Legends, consider this like Mordekaiser's Death Realm Ultimate. So what happens now is that Kumaya and Ishitask are whisked away, and we're playing Speak with the Spirits before this resolves.
Totally okay.
So we're going to apply a Shapeshift, a Disarm, or Predict 2. So he's going to disarm Shafathi. Okay. That makes no. We're going to put a disarm on Kumaya. Okay. So transporting both of them to the side of the realm over there, as you can see, they are both permanently stuck in there until one of them dies or until Kumaya declares a worship action. Now, if Kumaya begins her turn, in other words, turn 5, inside of the ultimate, then she will get Frenzy and an additional +2 attack. So basically, she will have +4 attack and then an additional 2 damage on her Frenzy. We do see the attack action going off there. That does the bonuses do not apply the turn that everyone is sent to the Void Palace. So we do see just a couple chip damages there on the Ishitosk.
Elite from deck. Okay. Why?
That makes, because that doesn't count for anything. And you can't target someone in an alternate battlefield. So I have no idea what that's about. Oh, well. We see Ishitosk, or we see Yami. Wait, Yami's activating. So Yami does go for the skirmish. She does kill off Shafathi. Does Smeoz have the kneel before me? Or is he going to simply move next to Shadris and go for the attack? Smeoz goes for the worship action. Okay, so the worship action, this does require a +2 on the flip here. In order to, excuse me, a +1 on the flip in order to kill. Is there another, actually a sinkhole doesn't matter because you can't pull Yami far enough away.
Yep, it doesn't work.
So we
sinkhole.
Nope. All right, so Smeoz does declare the resolution. Even if this is 0 on the flip, I'm pretty sure we still, +1. Okay, that's game. Wait.
He's marked his line of sight, so it's 2 -1, still -1. Chidris is playing.
Yeah, you're right.
A migraine. Yeah, he has 2 armor. Chidris is playing a migraine.
Yep. So this is going to apply the disarm, turns Yami's attack into 0+. So basically, we need to see a +2 on the flip, or we need to see a kneel before me.
+1 flip.
No, you hate to see it. There's kneel before me. Okay, never mind. Game over.
Okay, yeah, we try the attack, but we still
there it is.
We just use the ultimate.
It is a bloodlust double kill tandem victory, whichever one you want to call it. Looks like we're calling bloodlust because bloodlust is cooler. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and chat with the players.
Okay. Yep. Give me a second. Hello there.
Hey.
Hello.
GG.
Hey guys.
GG.
So I had the pieces to do Sinkhole and Void Palace, but
Yes.
We saw it, and then we both started laughing whenever you sent the picture over. We're like, no.
Yeah, it sucks. I couldn't make it, but I almost made it, and then it almost made sense. But yeah, in the end,
it was so close and yet so far.
Yeah, like my main question mark was to play Supernova at the beginning of turn 3 because I maybe could have killed Oguzai and started the race to kill a bit more because it was so much side of me with the race. So yeah, but I didn't deserve the win, and there is a new king.
There is.
Yeah. With Yami, RG? With Yami.
Yeah, I know. I approve of this 100%, Smeoz. 100% approval. Yami victory is the best kind of victory.
Yeah, it was at some point it was impossible for me to avoid one of the 3 victory, right? So
yeah,
it was good to remove Ixatos from the board, but then Yami, I made a big mistake because I could have disarmed Yami when she skirmished at the very end.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
I think with the ultimate, it would have made any difference.
Right, I was gonna say because then he could have just attacked possibly for the kill and then
move out worship and
Mhm.
and ultimate.
Yep.
So yeah, it didn't make any difference. So I'm not sad.
No, it's a very well played game. I really liked the setup that we had. I think it was back in turn 2 where you, Giacomo, where you had the Shadris going on over in the corner and the materialized play setup, and then Smeoz is like, nope, we're not going to have that, and just dunks
Yeah, I mean,
right on top of it.
I saw that card. I just hope he didn't have a second. Here, there I made a mistake. I could have moved the illusion here and out of line of sight, and now I regret not doing it. Because I said if he doesn't, if he waits, react, then he's screwed, right? But he was doing a action mind, so I didn't want to do it, and now of course I regret it.
I have moved Worried on top of the illusion for materialized too, but I am thinking about Flux and Gank because I know Giacomo and what he can play. So I am thinking about Gank. So okay.
Yeah, good idea as
yeah,
well.
so if the illusion was there, the game was a different game. But
yeah, totally, yeah.
You don't play with Eve, so
that is very true.
The most important thing, I would have made a combo. So I mean, anyway.
I have on turn 3 sinkhole in hand, but I I can't play them because I had only one because Giacomo has Doom my my Isha Tusk. Yeah, so
yes.
and I have to Doom your hero with Miami, so with my Yami, and Ogosai play Chromos Judgment, so 2 sinkhole for lead, and it's fun. It's fair enough.
Yeah. So,
it was a very exciting game. I'm just glad it did not end with a Nexus destruction. That would have made me very sad.
Yeah, with those victory conditions for sure. Yes.
That would have been.
I was going for the Nexus. Yeah, I mean, if the stars aligned, I could have made Nexus, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the situation that Smeoz put you in, then I think that the Nexus destruction was the right call for you. I was just hoping Smeoz wouldn't do that since he promised me that he would go for the aggressive kill.
And he did.
Yeah, the other thing was perfect thing was Kumaya to bring Yami in the Void Palace, right? But then I didn't have time to survive 2 turns to pull Yami eventually. So yeah. GG.
Good game.
I now retreat in my corners. I think about my loss. Next week there is with Smeoz, right?
Yes, Smeoz will now take his place on the dome and see what happens there.
Yep. Okay, thanks for casting it.
Yeah, thanks for
you.
that awesome game. I had a lot to do with all the cards being cast, so yeah, thanks. Was really enjoyable, and as always, a big pleasure to cast with RG. So thanks for that nice 1 hour and 20. Yeah. Yeehaw. So thanks, gentlemen. See you next week then. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.